Welcome to Magic Movie Recap. This movie is based on a true story. The movie starts in Mumbai, India, on November 26, 2008. A group of 12 young men arrives on a small inflatable raft. Each of them has a huge backpack and a cell phone with an earpiece. The leader of the group, known to be Brother Bull, gives the men instructions. They break off into pairs and get into a taxi, giving different locations such as the Victoria Terminus, the Leopold Cafe, and the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel. Meanwhile, in a nearby village, Arjun kisses his pregnant wife and his little daughter goodbye as he leaves for work at the Taj. Since he was in a hurry, he forgets one of his shoes. At the Taj, the staff prepares rooms and welcome guests from all over the world. Among them is Iranian-British heiress Zara, her American husband David, their little son, Cameron, and his nanny Sally. In the kitchen, head chef Hemant Oberoi checks the wait staff. He sees Arjun in sandals, and makes up his mind to send him home, but after some convincing reasons, he tells him to go upstairs to get an extra pair of shoes in his office. On the TV monitor, a breaking news bulletin plays about an attack at the Victoria Terminus. The two terrorists that just shot up the Victoria train station stole a police car and continue their killing spree. Zara and David eat dinner in the restaurant, while Sally stays upstairs to wait for a doctor, because Cameron feels a little bit warm. Oberoi instructs the staff to treat the couple like royalty, as well as another guest Vasily. The Russian business mogul requests a special cognac, so one of the waiters, Sanjay, goes out to buy some. As he goes to the store, he almost hit by the taxi, carrying two of the terrorists. He starts exchanging words with the driver, as the two men leave the car. Inside the Leopold Cafe, tourist Eddie and his girlfriend Bree watch the exchange with mild excitement. They decide to head the Taj next, so they start to pay for their meal. The waiter is suddenly shot, and a grenade is thrown into the cafe. The two men enter, and start coldly shooting people. Eddie and Bree escape and run down the streets with a huge group of people. News of the attacks is beginning to reach the hotel. The staff is worried, but try to remain calm in front of the guests. The group runs to the Taj, and begs for sanctuary. Hotel manager, Dilip, opens the doors, and the people moves hurriedly inside. Among them are four of the terrorists. They immediately pull out guns, and start killing everyone in sight. Bree and Eddie are separated during the melee, with Bree seemingly killed, when she tries to run for the exit. Arjun sees the carnage from the restaurant, and asks the guests to hide under the tables, and the staff to switch off the lights and lock the doors. David attempts to call Sally, but she's in the shower, and doesn't hear the phone ring. Two receptionists that are hiding under the desk, tries to call the police, and warn a few guests to stay in their rooms. Once the main lobby is quiet, Brother Bull commands Imran and Rashid to begin phase 2, that's to head upstairs, and kill anyone in sight. Sally finally answers her phone, just as there is knocking at the door. David warns her that there are shooters in the hotel, just as a woman covered in blood runs into the room, followed by the sound of gunshots. Sally takes Cameron, and hides in the bathroom closet, while the woman hides in the bathroom. The two men enter the suite, and execute the woman. Sally desperately manages to quiet Cameron, who is starting to fuss. They manage to remain unseen, and the two men leave. Sally hurriedly runs into the shower, and she and the baby cry together. She calls Zara back. David attempts to sneak upstairs, and get to them. He hides in the elevator behind a room service card, and after a close call with the two terrorists, he finally makes it to the room. Eddie jumps from the second-floor window, and he's injured. As he's carried away, he begs for someone to save Bree, who's still inside. Outside the hotel, the attacks are still on all over the city, at an alarming speed. The local police aren't properly trained, or equipped to handle an attack of this scale. Their only choice is to wait for the special forces from New Delhi, who are about 800 miles away. Arjun's wife watches the news terrified. Despite being severely outmanned and unprepared, the police chief and few officers try to enter the hotel, in the hopes of reaching the CCTV room, so they can track the terrorists' movements. Since the guests can't leave through the emergency exit, Oberoi tries to move the guests trapped in the restaurant up to the Chambers Lounge, where they can hopefully hide. He gives the kitchen staff the chance to leave now, and while a few do, the majority make up their mind to stay behind and help, say, the Taj is their home. Arjun successfully leads the guests to the lounge through the service hallway, which is hidden in the walls. Zara texts David where they are going, and asks him to meet them there. The police group pass in through the main lobby. One of the terrorists throws a grenade, killing 3 of the officers, and deafening another. The 2 flee into a stairwell. David, Sally, and Cameron leave the room and slowly manage to reach the lounge. Downstairs, the terrorists find the 2 receptionists, and order them to call the people trapped in their rooms. When they refuse, they are killed. In the lounge, a woman overhears Zara talking to her mother on the phone in Arabic, and accuses her of being one of the terrorists. Vasily tells her to shut up. The same woman later complains about Arjun's turban and beard. Arjun calmly explains to her that his turban is a symbol of his courage, but he's willing to take it off if it disturbs her. The woman apologizes. A stewardess enters the lounge with a few more guests. Among them is a seriously wounded Bree. Realizing she has to get immediate medical attention, Arjun offers to bring her outside through the back stairway. He uses his turban to help prevent the bleeding. They are met by the 2 policemen on the stairwell, and in confusion, Bree runs through the door, and is executed by Imran. Brother Bull gives him command to start gathering hostages, specifically, important-looking people. David and Sally reach the 6th floor, only to be run into Imran. David manages to shove Sally and Cameron inside a utility closet, before he is taken hostage. With no inside handle, and her phone dead, she is trapped. Arjun leads the police into the CCTV room, and sees many of his employees, including Sanjay, dead. Abdullah uses one of the dead officers' badges to try and gain access to the lounge. Just as Oberoi is about to open the door, Arjun calls and cautions him. Hearing noises inside, Abdullah begins shooting at the door. The guests and staff are ushered into the back room. The police order Arjun to stay put, and attack the terrorists, being able in wounding Imran before being driven off. Upstairs with David and the hostages, Imran calls his father, and sorrowfully tells him that he loves him. 6 hours later, Zara tries to leave the lounge with Vasily, and a few other guests, despite Oberoi's cautions. As they enter the lobby, the guests are executed, while Vasily and Zara are taken hostage. It is now morning, and the Indian Special Forces troops have begun to arrive. Abdullah searches through Vasily's pockets, and finds out that he is an ex-Spetsnaz Russian operative. The 2 terrorists, who stole the police car, are caught, and one is killed, and the other is taken into custody. Brother Bull commands the group to start their final phase, that's to burn down the hotel. They leave Imran with the hostages. David manages to loosen his wrists, and manages to attack him, but is shot in the shoulder. Arjun decides to leave the CCTV, in order to help more guests get to the lounge. One of the guests hears Cameron crying, and lets Sally out of the closet. Oberoi tells them that they are going to leave through the back entrance, as fast as they can. A guest who has been on the phone with a reporter, reveals where they are hiding, and this information is broadcasted on TV. Brother Bull warns the terrorists that the guests are running away. Imran is told to kill the hostages, since none of them are important enough. He shoots an American couple, David and Vasily, who tries to fight back. Zara sorrowfully starts reciting Salah, a Muslim prayer. Imran is unable to shoot another Muslim, and spares her. The terrorists break down the lounge doors, and give chase through the stairwell, shooting a few guests and staff. As they get to the kitchen, the Special Forces troops finally enter the hotel, and return fire. Arjun runs outside, and tearfully hugs Oberoi, as their nightmare seems to come to an end. Upstairs, Zara finds the closet that Sally was hiding in. She tries to break the window and scream for help. The surviving terrorists are eventually cornered, and killed. Zara is rescued and reunites with Sally and Cameron, Zara's infant son. Arjun returns home, and reunites with his family. The closing text reveals that, after 3 days, the Indian police executed 11 of the 12 terrorists, while capturing one. The mastermind of the plan remains unknown to this day. Of the 31 people murdered at the Taj Hotel, half were staff that stayed behind to help the guests. On December 21, 2008, the Taj was reopened, and with Hemant Oberoi's assistance, restored to its former glory. To this day, some of the employees that work at the Taj are survivors of the attack.